Hello, welcome to this edition of Alumni Pride. My name is Ben Louie, and I'll be your host today. In the studio, we have with us Erica Shallcross. She's a 2008 graduate of Susquehannock High School and currently a student at Penn State University. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, no problem.
So I understand you're a sophomore at Penn State,
Yep.
and you are studying electrical and mechanical engineering.
That is correct.
So you're a double engineering major.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like that keeps you pretty busy.
Definitely. Tons of coursework.
Lots of coursework.
Yeah.
So you have some other friends there that are doing double majors?
Definitely not.
No?
They all look at me like I'm crazy.
Do you feel crazy sometimes?
Definitely. When I'm doing all that coursework, I can make myself crazy.
So what kind of courses do you have? Like science and math, things like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of basics at the moment, just like the physics and chem courses and a lot of math courses. And we're just starting to get into like the specifics into electrical and mechanical.
Right, so
Yeah.
getting the base work out of the way,
Yeah.
and then getting ready to move on.
Yep.
Cool. So what got you interested or got you, down the path of going into the engineering field?
Well, my dad's an engineer for his work, so I got interested just coming to high school, and then they offered a lot of courses like the engineering design and the mechanical design courses that Mr. Rayburn teaches. And so I decided, why not give it a try?
Okay. Yeah, I was talking with Mr. Rayburn the other week, and we were talking about some new technology that we might be bringing into the program, and he started to mention what you were doing and where you were going and how things were happening for you, and I thought that'd be really interesting to come in here and talk to you about it. So. In your high school coursework, what were some of the things that you did that were exciting, or just projects that you liked? Can you kind of give us a little background about your time here at Susquehannock?
Yeah, I definitely loved Mr. Rayburn's courses. With the robotics was one of my favorite courses to do, and you got to play with robots, build different design challenges. And
is that where you get to build the Lego robot,
Yes.
things like that? Okay, I've
Yes.
been over there and saw those things, going.
Yeah.
And I think like doing some bridge building, other
Yep.
things like that.
We had bridges, and definitely we had, with the engineering course, we had to build bridges, and there were different types of challenges that we did. We did the engineering design challenge too, and that was cool. We got to compete at different schools.
What was involved in the engineering design challenge?
Well, they gave us a problem, which we got to decide what type of problem we wanted to do. Ours had to do with disabilities in the workplace.
Okay.
And the one that I had chose to do with my group was someone was a busboy, and they had a limp and everything, and could not carry all the dishes and everything. And so our challenge was to make a tray kind of thing to help him with his job.
Okay.
That could maneuver through the workplace and made it easy for him to pick up and hold everything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that was a team of students working
Yeah, there
together on that?
was 4 of us in a team, and so we had to design what we wanted to do it on the computer, print out, and do tons of research about it.
Okay.
And with all the research and our drawings and all our design work, we submitted it in, and we got to see if we went on to the next level of the challenge. And we got to see how far we got to go and compete with a whole bunch of different schools.
Cool. So you got to interact with students from across the state?
Not really,
or just kind of in the regional area?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I know they also teach some, just other computerized drawing, CAD type programs.
Yep.
Did you take courses like that as well?
Yes, I learned AutoCAD and SolidWorks and Inventor and some architectural programs.
Okay.
And that helped so much in college, because I was ahead of the game with some of my courses, because I already know how to use a bunch of the programs.
Really? So are you in your college program right now? Are you doing computerized type CAD
one
work?
of my courses was e-design, which was engineering design work, and it's just kind of an intro into the whole engineering field and everything. And we got to learn AutoCAD and Inventor, or SolidWorks there. And I already knew both of those with Mr. Rayburn's courses.
So, has that helped you out then?
Definitely.
In terms of kind of lightening the load where maybe other students really had to
Yeah,
focus a lot of time into learning the computerized CAD?
Yep.
Okay.
They had to learn like all the shortcuts and all the tricks to it, and I was pretty much breezed through all my projects I had.
Interesting.
And everyone was just kind of like looking at me like, how did you do that?
Cool. Well, I mean, that's good to know that, what we're doing here at Susquehanna High School is actually helping students as they move on and continue their career path. Have you thought about tutoring any students?
I did actually help a bunch of the students.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. That's good to know. In talking with Mr. Rayburn, another thing that he kind of mentioned to me was that last year, I guess after your first year of college, you were able to get an internship set up with BAE Systems here in York.
Yep, BAE Systems was definitely great. I was surprised I managed to get it after freshman year, but just working with a whole bunch of coursework and everything, and seeing I had background with AutoCAD and a bunch of different programs, they decided to give me a try.
All right, so you applied to various places,
Yep.
And then you kind of just waited to hear back from them.
Yeah.
So is that is it normal for an engineering student after their freshman year to get an internship?
It's definitely harder your freshman year to get an internship. Most don't get it after freshman.
I understand this was a paid internship?
Yes, it was.
It wasn't, from what I've heard, it wasn't just a normal internship where you're kind of in there processing paperwork and doing things like that. So tell us a little bit about, as much as you can, about what types of things they had you do, or just the situation, if you can just kind of expand on that.
Well, when I first got in there, they just pretty much briefed us just kind of what we were going to do, and I had a supervisor, and I had to work under him. And he pretty much gave me a project to work on, and pretty much set me right off right away, the first day.
He gave you your own project?
Pretty much.
So you're an intern, and they just turned you loose?
Yeah.
You must have really impressed them.
I was in shock the first day when my buddy, we were signing a buddy just to help us out, and he came to me and he's like, well, I'm going on vacation starting tomorrow, so here's the work that we were supposed to be doing, so go ahead, get started. I won't be here for about a week. I was like, oh. Wow,
interesting.
Yeah.
What kind of work were you doing there? Was it computer design work, CAD work? Was it electrical, mechanical?
Yeah, I had an electrical internship, so I was working with electrical designers and engineers. I did have some computer work that I did. I learned the whole process, what the engineers do from start to finish, starting a project to how to end the project, how to get processes done. I did work on some computer designing. Most of it though was actually in the field doing testing and figuring out what needed to be done and trial and error and doing a whole bunch of testing.
Sounds like it was a really good experience.
Oh, yeah,
where
definitely.
You were challenged and learned a lot.
Yes.
So is that something you'd be looking forward to doing again?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's good. Do you think that some of your high school experience plus, obviously probably have been a pretty good student your freshman year at college, did all that combined, do you think, give you a good opportunity to get in there?
Oh yeah, definitely. And Penn State has a great program where you go in and talk to a whole bunch of different careers and different businesses. It's like a career day pretty much. And you go and talk to a whole bunch of businesses. And BAE was one of the ones I talked to, and I also had applied online. And just pretty much me going after them so much, applying online, talking to them at the career fairs, and actually mentioning, hey, I looked on online for you and applied online. And
so you did some background research that you think helped you out.
Definitely.
So that's really excellent that you were able to get an internship close to home.
Yeah.
So you were able to come home for the summer and save some money. But I also hear that the result of this internship, you were able to move out of the dorm, I guess?
Yes, I have an apartment now with a couple of my friends.
And
that
was
so much better.
You were able to pay for all of that from your work over the summer? Interesting. So I know you're basically only 1 year into your college career, but what do you see yourself doing after graduation, or what kind of there's a pretty wide field of engineering, even electrical and mechanical. What types of things are you looking to hopefully do down the road.
Yeah, I've definitely, like, I love robotics. That's why I couldn't really decide whether I wanted electrical or mechanical part of it. So I want to get into like the robotic type of field, especially like the military and the government, for like packbot type of things, which is a robot really that pretty much is a backpack on top, like with the soldiers. And when they need to go into like terrain that might have enemy in it or not sure about whether there's chemical warfare or anything going on, they'll actually take the robot down and just pretty much make it come to life. And he will go out there and pretty much decide whether it's safe for the soldiers to go out. If it's not, then a robot, if that gets blown up, that isn't really much.
We're not losing lives, we're just losing a robot.
Yep.
And that's interesting, just, you know, where we've come with the technology, and just, you know, being able to design robots that can go out and do things like that. And I guess a robot is really a good combination of the electrical engineering side, the mechanical, and pretty much putting that all together.
Yep.
So hopefully, you know, someday we'll, you know, maybe see you out there designing a, you know, robot. That would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely the plan.
So is there anything else, you know, that you know, you want to discuss or talk about related to you know, your time here at Susquehannock or what's going on at Penn State?
I just want to say, like, if anyone's interested in the engineering field, definitely try like Mr. Rayburn's courses, because that definitely gives you a feel with the type of work you'll be doing on the computer for the engineers, and it definitely helps you out. So
basically, you would say that you know, the experience that you've had here is definitely on par, or in line with what you need. So it's a pretty real experience.
Yep.
As to what you're going to be getting into.
Yep.
Okay, good. That's something that, you know, hopefully we can continue to grow, and like we try to keep up with the technology in that area, new computers, new software.
Yeah.
But, you know, designing robots and bridges and all those kind of things, there's, you know, a lot to keep up with. So we want to thank you for joining us today, Erica.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
And on behalf of Southern New York County School District, we want to wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And before we go, I'd like to also give a special thanks to Mr. Mark Rill, who's doing the behind-the-scene camera work for us today. This has been a Warrior TV production. We want to thank you for joining us today for our edition of Alumni Pride.